when we meet in the center of the octagon and I'm standing in front of him, and the first time my leather lands on his face, and the first time my leather lands to his body, and the first time I get my hands locked around him, and he feels the pressure, and he feels the squeeze, he feels his feet leave the ground and his neck and head hit the canvas, I think he's gonna immediately know that he's outmatched.
Here you are, yeah, training for a return.
You know, not only just a return, Megan, the greatest return in combat sports. This is going to be, you know, I'm going to kick this guy in the head. He's just tailor-made for being kicked all over the place, and that's what I'm aiming for.
June 29th, the notorious Conor McGregor's back in action after a 3-year layoff and career-ending injury. But according to his entourage, McGregor's in solid shape waiting for his highly anticipated return. Typically, athletes don't return to their prime after such injuries, especially when it comes to the most dangerous sport on planet Earth. But as his former rival once said, if there's a person who can bounce back after such an injury, his name is Conor McGregor. But let's remember how it all began, and should we expect the greatest comeback in sports history? But before we start, I ask you to subscribe to our channel, unless you want Conor to drink proper 12 in front of Michael Chandler in that cage.
Again, I'm back, you know what I mean? So let's go.
Dustin's going out in a stretcher. That's my prediction.
After a shocking loss to the Diamond, Conor's whole personality changed right after he visited the place where time doesn't exist. For the first time ever, McGregor returned to his old self, mocking the Diamond in a build-up to their trilogy. But unlike 7 years ago, Dustin didn't care, listened carefully to Conor, and shot him well several times.
Not McGregor fast, McGregor sleep.
It's disgusting.
A couple of days before the fight, Conor said that he's here for DP's head, and he'll be chasing the Diamond with the worst possible intentions since the first bell. And then this famous quote was born.
Joe, in 16 hours' time, this man is gonna learn that if you disrespect a person's kindness and take it as a weakness, you must pay. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna make this man pay with his life. And I mean it. You're dead in that octagon tomorrow night.
Okay.
The fight started and McGregor proved his words. He chased Diamond since the first bell, and it looked like he was finding his rhythm. He was fluid and sharp with his kicks, finding openings, just until Diamond started countering him. McGregor initiated clinching, and then did something no one expected from him.
Oh, you're a wrestler now. You're a wrestler.
Conor tried to choke Diamond with Poirier's trademark move, but be careful what you wish for. DP defended well against the fence and started pounding Conor's face to death. Both fighters used some dirty moves in that fight. Conor tried to put his fingers in Poirier's glove while Diamond grabbed the fence with his toe while defending. Conor's perfect start turned to a terrible end as soon as they stood up. Both fighters threw left cross, both missed, and at the exact moment Conor realized his legs gone. Conor was screaming in pain, and his distraught look spoke volumes. No one expected such an end, but every end is the beginning of something new. Dustin Poirier received the fame he couldn't even dream of. He stopped McGregor twice, getting another shot for the gold. Poirier has shockingly lost another shot, while McGregor shouted about the fastest recovery in sports history to make the first ever quadrilogy in UFC, saying they have unfinished business. Time passed, McGregor grew in size, but there was no real news about his return. While Conor was more and more often spotted with a glass in his hand saying some weird stuff.
And I feel confident against Usman. A jab-happy, sloppy, orthodox wrestler with no submissions whatsoever. What's he going to do? Where's the danger here?
At the age of 33 to 34, McGregor changed every day, and sometimes it seemed that he looked 8 to 10 years older. It's not a secret that Iron Mike's been praying for that red panties night since his first day in the UFC. He said he's here not for a long time, but for fun. In May 2022, Iron Mike made a huge statement that attracted the attention of the Irishman.
Conor McGregor, get your candy ass back to the octagon. We got some unfinished business, boys. God bless. I'll see you at the top.
I think McGregor noticed how vulnerable Chandler was against washed-up Tony. It even made us believe that Prime Ferguson returned for a split second, making Iron Mike pray for his life in that cage. Chandler called Conor out and continued to alternate victories and defeats, while the Irishman continued enjoying his life in Black Forge, alternating whiskey and beer.
Not if, when I knock Kamaru Usman out at 170. That'll be 3 UFC World Titles won, moving upward with 3 knockouts.
Hey, get that!
And in a twist of fate, Chandler faced Mac's greatest rival later this year. Despite the result of the fight, Chandler put up a solid performance against such an opponent, and once again proved to the whole world that he forgot his fighting IQ while packing his bags from Bellator. Michael was winning the fight against Diamond, but decided to force things in the final round, and it cost him another victory, which would have brought the title chance. But as the current champion said, Chandler's way smarter than many people think. He fought everyone he wanted, and there's still the final boss, defeating whom would give Mike everything. As soon as the UFC realized that Conor's quick return shouldn't be expected, they booked Tough 31. According to the bald man's plan, the fighters were supposed to meet at the end of the summer of 2023, or in the fall of the same year. But as One Wisdom says, if you want to make God laugh, tell him about Conor's return.
That's fucking illegal.
It was clear from Conor's shape that the UFC wouldn't allow him to fight at 185 on his secret juice against Chandler. Most likely, we would have witnessed a battle for oxygen in that cage and probably real-life murder. Michael Chandler, like a faithful wife, decided to wait for her husband from the army, while Conor decided to conquer Hollywood, making his debut continuing drinking, while Chandler's been sleeping and training, imagining his red panties night, which he finally got.
The greatest comeback of all time will take place in Las Vegas for International Fight Week on June the 29th. Come a little closer. And the opponent, Michael Chandler. And the weight, Mr. Chandler, 185 pounds.
Even Conor's most devoted fans stopped believing him, because it was difficult to catch him sober. Even during the announcement of his next fight, the Irishman was drinking, and even the cunning bald man did not confirm his words.
So where do things stand with Conor right now? Is he fighting in June?
No. When Conor's ready to fight, you know we'll announce it.
But as soon as UFC got rid of USADA, we got what we asked for.
June 29th. Conor versus Chandler.
After Ryan Garcia's last fight, fans began to insist that Conor had been pretending to be drunk for 2.5 years. Allegedly, Conor planned all this stuff so that he could easily return to the octagon, demolishing Mike, as he did with Cowboy. But the truth is that Conor's appearance changed more often than the glasses he emptied. And no one except Conor himself and his team can evaluate his shape properly. Although, as practice shows, even they can't do it. I don't know if this was Conor's tactic, but we know one thing for sure. Time is not on Chandler's side. He's turning 40 soon, and no matter how much you train, you can't deceive your body. Ask Ronaldo. On the other hand, Mike took a break from fighting and recovered. But won't he lose his speed and explosiveness after such a layoff, especially at the age of 38? We all remember Tony's story and Khabib's words. You can't be on your prime twice and at the age of 36. Your strength begins to leave you, especially in lighter weights. Conor's definitely healed his injury. His size becomes human-like, and he finally spars more often in smaller gloves. By the time of the fight, Conor will still be 35. 170 suits him better, and he has an ideal opponent for the best possible comeback. Chandler's been dropped by all of his last opponents, still ranked top 5, and still wide open for that left hook. He won't wrestle McGregor. He will stand and bang in the center of the cage, and this time it's definitely Conor's last chance for success. Dana Bold already announced UFC 303 and is already the company's highest ever gate, which means the world will still be watching. We can't ignore the fact that Conor's been drinking for 3 years and he's not 30 anymore. But Chandler ain't no Poirier or Khabib. He's here for fun, which means even drunk McGregor will be given his puncher chance. If Conor's straight left connects Chandler's chin, who's speeding at 100 miles per hour, he'll be sent to the place where time doesn't exist, and just imagine what happens to the MMA world. But there are two faces of everything, and we may witness a horrible ending of McGregor's career if he's not fully prepared. Very soon we'll get answers to all of these questions. but everyone will definitely watch Conor's return. The wait is over.
Hello my friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. And tell me, what do you exactly expect from Conor McGregor return? And man, don't you forget to hit this subscription button with your powerful left hook. Unless you want Conor McGregor to pull out the fight for the first time ever in his pro career. It's simple. Okay my friends, I hope that you already subscribed to our channel, cause if not, Alex Poatan Pereira is already coming for your soul with his deadly bow. We are watching you.